Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, introverts, extroverts, ambiverts, omniverts, and all other personality types, welcome. I'm Steven with a V. Are you normal? How normal? So, in my opinion, there is no such thing as normal. What we call normal is not a natural state or measurable truth, but a shape, an illusionary outline created by culture, media, institutions, and habit. It is a composite of averages and expectations that no real human fully inhabits. Yet we are taught often from a childhood that the shape exists and that we should all try to fit ourselves into it. And when we fail, as everyone inevitably does, we internalize that failure as something personal, something shameful. The tragedy is not that we fall short of normal, but that we believed it was attainable in the first place. Statistics themselves quietly reveal this contradiction. We talk about what is typical, average, or expected, but the human traits exist on spectrums that stretch in opposite directions, often at the same time. We are told most people feel lonely, yet social media is saturated with images of connection. Rates of anxiety and depression rise alongside unprecedented access to entertainment, convenience, and communication. People report valuing authenticity, yet spend enormous energy curating appearances. These extremes seem to contradict each other only because the idea of normal demands consistency. Real human experience is not consistent. It is layered, situational, and often paradoxical. The tension leads to one of the most common emotional conflicts in modern life. We love who we are, yet we hate what we have become. We may recognize our core values, our intentions, our capacity for kindness or creativity, while simultaneously feeling disappointed by our habits, our compromises, or the distance between where we are and where we imagined we would be. This is not hypocrisy, it is humanity. People evolve under pressure, under constraint, under survival. What we become is often shaped less by choice than by circumstance, and yet we judge ourselves as if we had complete freedom at every step. To resolve this inner conflict, some people try many things. Some pursue perfection, believing that self-discipline or achievement will finally grant them some peace. Others numb the tension through distraction, work, substances, constant stimulation, or endless scrolling. Some seek reinvention, changing careers, relationships, identities, or locations in hopes that new contexts will quiet old discomforts. Others turn inward, chasing self-optimization through therapy, fitness, mindfulness, or spirituality. None of these responses are inherently wrong. They are attempts to reconcile competing truths, the desire to accept oneself and the desire to change. The difficulty is that we are walking contradictions. We crave stability and novelty, belonging and independence, meaning and ease. We resent the forces that shape us, yet rely on them for structure. We criticize the systems we participate in and then criticize ourselves for participating. This contradiction can produce shame, but it can also produce insight. The very tension we feel is evidence that we are reflective beings, capable of examining our lives rather than merely living them. We both hate and love what these contradictions have done to us. We hate the anxiety, the self-doubt, the compromises that feel like betrayals of earlier selves. But we also love the resilience, the adaptability, the perspective earned through struggle. The same experiences that harden us also deepen us. The same disappointments that wound us also clarify what matters. Growth is rarely clean. It often looks like conflict before it looks like progress. If there is no normal, then the task is not to conform, but to position ourselves more honestly within our own lives. One step is learning to distinguish between expectations we inherited and values we actually hold. Many frustrations come from chasing standards that were never chosen consciously. Another is replacing comparison with calibration, measuring progress against our own direction rather than against someone else's highlight reel. It also means allowing for contradiction without rushing to resolve it. Not every tension requires a solution. Some require tolerance. Practical change comes from small, deliberate alignment, clarifying priorities, setting boundaries that reflect energy rather than obligation, accepting that growth is uneven and often uncomfortable, recognizing that becoming who we want to be does not mean erasing who we have been. It means integrating experience rather than rejecting it. There's freedom in abandoning the myth of normal. Without it, failure loses some of its sting, difference loses its threat, and self-reflection becomes curiosity instead of punishment. We stop asking, "What's wrong with me?" and begin asking, "What am I learning about myself?" In that shift, contradictions become not flaws to eliminate, but truths to understand. And that understanding is often where real progress begins. And speaking of real progress, now because absolutely no one asks for it, it's time for Meme 15. Always remember that the crowd that applauds your coronation is the same crowd that will applaud your beheading. People like a show. Terry Pratchett. What screws us up most in life is the picture in our head of how it's supposed to be. Military veteran against, because I took a solemn oath to defend the Constitution against all enemies, foreign and domestic. A dog is the only thing on earth that loves you more than he loves himself. Someone just called me normal. I have never been so insulted in my entire life. So until next time, if someone tells you that they are normal, just say, "Prove it." I'm Stephen with a V. I'll see you on the next turn. Please like, comment, share, and subscribe. Contribute if you can.